Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the top of the line Ram 1500, the new Ram 1500 Limited Elite. Before we get in this video though, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Dodge Ram here in American Fork, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. Now I do need to mention this particular truck is not available for sale for the time being because there is a recall. It has the EcoDiesel powertrain, but once the fix for that recall has been released, then this truck will be available for sale later this year. With disclaimers out of the way, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So powering this particular truck is the EcoDiesel. It's a 3-liter V6 turbo diesel that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now power outputs with this truck are 260 horsepower and then 480 pound-feet of torque. Now before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, this has the normal limited hood. Nothing's been changed with this Elite package. And then you can see here we've got our 1500 EcoDiesel badge. Coming down below, we've got the normal limited lights here. Notice the daytime running lights as well. And then you can see we've got the chrome trim here on the front end with the limited signature grille. We've got fog lights down below, parking sensors here on the front end, and then look at the tow hooks and notice how the bumper's body painted. So putting it all together, it looks really good because it's a limited, but it doesn't look any different from any other limited. Now coming around the side here, our towing wheel setup is 285, 45, 22 in the front and over in the rear as well. You guys can see here with the wheel setup, you've got all of the chrome there with the metallic gray inserts. It looks pretty sweet. Now being limited, this comes standard with 4-corner air suspension, and then notice how the fender flares are body painted, and then you guys can see with the Ram logo and then limited right there, and then look at the trim that goes across. And then here's your full side profile on the limited with the fender flares and those wheels. It pops. Now here is the key fob for this truck. We've got our unlock function, our lock function, the tailgate drop down, air suspension drop down, and then our remote start function, and of course it says limited on the back. Now popping into the bed, you guys can see that, well, got some protection here on the tailgate. We'll go over the tailgate in a second because you guys can see there's some funny business happening there. We've got LED lights here in the bed, and then this one has, well, protection from the factory, which is pretty cool. And you'll notice we also have the LED cargo light there at the top. Now with the tailgate, it's a little bit heavier to pick up because this has the barn door function is what I like to call it. So you can see it opens up like that, which is pretty cool. And then there's this kick step right here, which is more of like a grab step because you kind of like pull it down with your foot. And so then, well, accessing the bed's a little bit easier. Now wrapping things up with the rear, you guys can see we've got the LED taillights back here. We've got all of our chrome badges, and then the exhaust tips also chrome as well. But anyways, wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the packaging on this limited. Do you like the look of this, or do you like the look of a limited night edition more? But before we move on to the next feature of this vehicle, we need to talk about today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Now, nobody wants to get into a car accident, an accident at their workplace, or, you know, slip and fall in front of a business, but sometimes it just happens to be a part of life. And I can speak about this from a place of personal experience because when I was 17 years old, I got in a really bad car accident where my car got totaled out. And because I didn't know anything about insurance companies or getting help by a law firm, I basically got completely screwed in the situation where I got no money for my totaled car and I was left without a vehicle. And this is where Morgan & Morgan can help out. They are America's largest injury law firm with over 100 offices, over 800 lawyers, and over 4,000 case staff that are all ready to help you out. Now I know at this point you might be thinking, Ben, that sounds really expensive, but here is the deal. All of the court hearings, the research, the negotiation, and more are free unless you win. And so if you're involved in some sort of personal accident, whether it be a slip and fall accident, an accident at your workplace, or maybe a car accident similar to what I was involved in, then you might want to get help from Morgan & Morgan. And don't feel bad that you're going down the route of suing. I know a lot of people might feel guilty about this, but what you have to understand is you're not suing the person or the business. You're suing their insurance company that has billions upon billions of dollars. And so it's more about making sure that you get the compensation that you deserve. So again, if you're injured in an accident, then you can check out Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy, or you can give them a call at pound 529, which is pound law. I think that's so cool that they got that number reserved. But again, www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy. Let's get back into the review. Now taking a look at the door panel itself, you guys can see the leather trim here at the top, and then look at the cloth trim down below. This is part of the Elite package, and then the wood trim that goes across, and then that right there, that stitching, That's elite, folks. But anyways, there's the door panel. We've got power side steps here, and then popping over to the seats, you can see the leather trim. Again, that's elite. And then you've got the cloth trim, which is also elite. And there you go. Pretty cool with the two-tone design. Got the under seat storage, and then the limited floor mats here. And then you can see we've got little ice buckets underneath as well. Now, legroom here in the rear is really solid. This has the reclining seat function, and then you've got a little storage pocket right here. Look at the wood trim there. You've got the vents on either side, heated and cooled seats for the back, USBs, full power outlet on top of that. And then, of course, we've got a little pull strap for our center console. And look at that. That's elite, folks. Now, taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again with all of the leather trim, and then look at the trim down below with the wood trim. I think it's a really cool look. And then we've got our memory seat function. All of our window controls, front two are automatic. The mirror adjustments, the mirrors do power fold in. You can see they also have blind spot monitoring. And then here's the front seat. Again, look at the cloth trim that goes around. You can see with all the stitching that goes across, and then perforated all down the center. I like how it's got like a cowhide texture on the side. That's pretty nifty. And then you got your power adjustments there on the side. And then fancy pedals down below. Pedal adjustment right here. You've got your light control, and then it's kind of like blue with the coloration. I don't know if you guys can see that, or maybe I'm just colorblind. Who knows? Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see we've got leather trim all around. You got the little wood insert here at the bottom. Radio controls on the back. We have our regular cruise controls as well as adaptive. We've got our gear limiter right here, controls for center stack, phone controls as well. Now, being a 2023 Limited, we've got the full digital gauge cluster here. Now, my favorite part is actually going up to the top here, so you can switch between analog and digital. I think the analog looks cooler, but let me know which screen setup you think looks better. And then it does show you your def, if you guys are wondering, since this is a diesel. Now, in reverse, this does have a 360 camera system, so you can see out of every single angle. And hey, people in the camera. But aside from that, you can also zoom in with the receiver hitch as well. Now, before we dive into this monstrosity that is a 12-inch display, you can see lane departure right here, your parking assist, and then analog controls for the climate on either side, radio controls as well. And then we've got our parking sensors here, your tow haul mode, you've got your stability control, air suspension, and then your trailer brake controls, and ooh. So, dual zone climate, heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, you know, the normal stuff. With the screen itself, it responds pretty well. It does take a second for some of the tabs to load up. Just kind of take that into consideration. But overall, it's a solid system. Now, taking a look at the shifter, look at that crystal. That's elite. But you can see next to it, we've got our driveline selects, your two-wheel drive, four-wheel auto, four-wheel high, and then your four-wheel low as well. And then look at the center console here with the stitching design, and it says limited right there in the center. And then it's the normal Ram center console, so nothing too funky happening here. This slides backwards and forwards, which is always exciting. Got the wood trim here. Wireless phone charging pad. Tons more USBs, and then we have a full outlet down below as well. Now, being a Limited, we've got a really nice dash here, and then you can see the stitching there in front of the Harman Kardon sound system logo. Pretty cool. And then look at all of this. It looks really cool. And then with the glove box, it's got the double setup. Again, I love the wood trim that goes across. And then this has the rear view camera mirror, for those of you that are wondering. Power sliding window. And then look at the headliner. Really nice with the material use. Way nicer than what you get in a normal Ram. And then we do have a full panoramic sunroof. Now, I can't find the window sticker, but I'm pretty sure this one stickers for about $85,000 as equipped. Anyways, let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, and hopefully you can now see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors, still blind spot monitoring, and throughout the rest of the rear. And Limited Elite Way. We are officially setting off, and well, there's lots of traffic right now, so hopefully this driving route that I have picked out doesn't get me trapped. Oh, well, that's what I call trapped. So we're gonna go right over here. That's also trapped. Well, you know what? It ain't much, but it's honest work, folks. I guess while I'm trapped here for just a maybe a long moment, we'll see. Let's quickly talk about how this truck feels. So in terms of the seats, are really comfortable. They're regular Limited seats. Now with the cloth trim, it doesn't really change the seat comfort at all. It's just a different texture, and we'll kind of talk about this interior in just a little bit. Aside from that, I mean, it's a very upscale interior. That's the thing that this Ram Limited has just become so famous for, is just having this crazy nice upscale interior. I mean, even when you compare it to like the new, you know, fully loaded GMC Sierra and the new fully loaded Ford F-150, like this still holds up really, really well in terms of its luxury truck chops, so to speak. So I think they've done a fantastic job when it comes to that. And you know what? I guess we'll go north. Let's hope this works out. If it doesn't, hey, it was a nice try. Yeah, it rides so well too. Like with the air suspension, it's really comfortable. And this EcoDiesel's got so much torque. Now obviously the EcoDiesel is kind of gone. I mean, you can still find trucks on dealer lots with them. Again, there's the whole recall situation right now, but you can't build one. So you can only build, you know, 5.7 Hemis now. But I'm sure some of you still kind of want to see this engine and what it's like. It's very smooth with the 8-speed. It's got so much torque. I mean, I just barely get into it, and it gets you right up to speed. So I think that part is super impressive, if you ask me. Yeah, the ride quality is really good. So to sum things up here with this limited elite drive, I know this wasn't the best drive ever, but I'm trying to figure out a driving route that makes sense with the traffic that we have over here. So I prefer the looks of the Night Edition to this limited elite package, but I do still think this is a really good looking truck. Now this interior, here's my hot take on this interior. I love this interior. I love how it looks. I love the coloration on it. Again, I don't know, maybe I'm colorblind. It looks like kind of like a very dark navy blue. I think on camera it might just pop up as black to you guys. Again, maybe there's something wrong with the cones in my eyeballs, but I really like it. The hot take part is that this is basically just the limited 10th anniversary edition that we had last year. It's just called the Elite now. So like, that's great for people that are buying this truck, but I feel kind of like bad. You just ran a red light, 4Runner. I feel kind of bad for people that are buying 10th anniversary editions, because like, or that bought 10th anniversary editions, because now you can buy the same truck. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about the limited elite. I think it's a really nice truck, but I think that Ram just kind of rebadged the 10th anniversary edition. The crystal dial doesn't lie.